your soul and called it 32 FM 94.9. Filling the world with laughter.
Make me your radio and turn me up when you feel low. My head's so far away.
Mornings are for dreamers.
I'm a dreamer, yes, I'm a dreamer. Oh.
The break of dawn for champions.
Champion, champion, champion,
On 32 FM 94.9.
Every day is another chance to do it all over again.
Get the best of starts on the break of dawn. 32 FM 94.9. From motivationals
To news,
to sports and talk.
we'll give you all you need to make the best of your day.
On the break of dawn. 32 FM 94.9.
All right, welcome. Good morning to you. It's Monday morning, the 15th day in the month of February 2021. My name is OLUTAYO. OGUNADE. The station is 32 FM 94.9. It's good to be here once again on the Breakdown newspaper review, where we track headlines for you just because you need to know. Once again, welcome and thank you for joining us.
My name is DELE ADEYANJU. Monday morning, welcome to Breakdown Newspaper Review. This morning I have four papers: The Punch, The Daily Post, I have the Vanguard and the Independent newspapers.
I'll start from the Guardian newspaper here, and that is from this particular headline: Nigeria-China relationship will sign deals with our eyes open, says Oyema. I sold my property to give 370 Kano indigent scholarships, says Kwekwanso. PGF canvasses emergency summit on peaceful coexistence. Still from the Guardian, let's see some more how Navy personnel orders aid crude oil theft, illegal refineries in Niger Delta. Police boss condemns molestation of protesters in viral video. Nigerians free to carry arms for self-defense, Miyetti Allah declares. What are they saying here? Let me check that again. Nigerians free to carry arms for self-defense, Miyetti Allah declares. Lagos auctioned forfeited vehicles, sells Toyota Corolla for 6.5 million naira. Army kills 2 Boko Haram commanders in Borno. The doctors gets 14 million naira car from Zulum for meritorious service. Let's see some more here. WTI crude breaks 60%, $60 a barrel oil. A barrel on oil supply. Rice, flour, sugar, cement, top free trade exemption list. Still from the Guardian, Nigeria lacks capacity for COVID-19 vaccine trials, say experts. One more before we go to another paper. Transition to renewable energy critical to addressing Africa's power gap.
Moving on to Punch newspaper now. Police silent on gunmen kidnap 18 travelers in Niger. Okay, police silent as gunmen kidnap 18 travelers in Niger. Inbound passengers shunned isolation. Enforcement collapses. Haneze Pandef Afenifere berates NIS for saying no armed herders. Makinde Akeredolu meets Ibadan market warring parties preach peace. Foye directs strict COVID-19 compliance as Ekiti shots varsity. NSAS panelists resign, alleged Tobiano paying lip service to probe. NACA warns as reporters Nigerians use 578 million condoms annually. Buhari promoting disunity through lopsided appointment. CDHR. Senators mobilize support for anti-open grazing bill. NAF neutralizes Boko Haram commanders in Sambisa. Airmen killed. Jubilation as police rescue Rivers NTA reporter. VC warns against cultism. Other vices. 107 herdsmen, not 4,000, returned to Kaduna. Community leader. Still reading from the Punch newspaper. APC, PDP, same family. Reject them, says AA. Northern governors lack capacity to manage repentant bandits. Senator, again, suspected herdsmen strike in Ondo, kill 3 farmers. Kwankwanso welcomes 370 students sponsored on foreign scholarships. Ex-SPIP prosecutor sues Buhari Malami for copyright law violations. Story of Clark's death concocted. Malicious falsehood. Pandef. Herdsmen must embrace ranching. Obey anti-open grazing law. Benue. Herdsmen kill 3 Ogun farmers after a government delegation's visit. Okowa asks Nigerians to fight open grazing. Occupy Lekki. Police order men to remain at toll gate indefinitely and protect my husband's legacy. Jakonde's widow tells Sanwo-Olu police silent as gunmen kidnap 18 travelers in Niger. And that's the last I'll be taking from Punch.
Let's move to Daily Trust. How angry youths barred Oyo Ondo governors from Monarch's Palace in Ibadan. Oshibajo condemns Shasha mayhem, says market represents unity. Buhari, I won't allow ethnic or religious groups to stoke violence. Still from Daily Trust, 20 buried in Ibadan, 5,000 take refuge. Relatives invade Osun Hospital to retrieve COVID-19 infected corpses. Ex-Taraba SSG, Jika, dies at 68. Senator makes case for basic education. Insecurity, pray for God's intervention. Emma. Still from there, bandits strike again in Niger, kidnap 18 passengers. UAE extends ban on Nigerian flights till the 10th of March. Mr. Macaroni, please stripped us naked, told us we'll have been killed if we protested at night. 2023, PDP writes IGP seeks prosecution of Kano APC chair over hate speech. Government yet to compensate as Abuja NSAS victims recount loss. Saudi extends COVID-19 restrictions for 20 days. One more, Nigeria needs more FDI for capital projects. Chuku, let's see another paper.
Daily Post next. Iyola Omishore concludes plans to decamp, joins APC today. Uniosun Teaching Hospital denies envisioned by hoodlums, snatching of corpses. COVID-19, Obasanjo cautions Africa on agri-business manufacturing sectors. Governor Matawali condemns attacks on northerners in Oyo, tells Buhari to act quickly. BPA to concession TBS, Lagos Trade Fair Complex, economic zones. Emir of Adeja loses mother, Buhari reacts. FCCA to demolish 2 nightclubs over change of land use. Anambra communities clash over disputed land, destroy vehicles, structures. WHO reacts to fresh threats of Ebola as Guinea records 4 deaths. Oyo crisis. Nigerians have right to live, work, enjoy their lives under the law. VP Oshibajo. Oyo, Buhari asked to probe Shasha killings. Governor Udam's aide, Uwa raises alarm over invasion of farmland by herdsmen. We will resist the vendors of violence in Southwest. Yoruba Appraisal Forum warns Buhari dragged to court over draconian Kama Act. Youth resign from Anambra NSAS panel gives Obiano ultimatum to act. Kogi State Polytechnic loses Bossa. Governor Ipeazu commends Catholic community for supporting his government. President, governors can appoint opposition as cabinet members. Former President Jonathan. We will reject proposed herders, livestock census. Fulani Group, Kakran, insists. Valentine's Day, Catholic priest calls for true love, sacrifice for indigent people. Herdsmen killings. Nigerian students ask IGP to relocate to Southwest. And finally, Abia lawmaker, Aussie prestigious body, arrives from Germany amid tears.
Inter-ethnic conflict. Act now. Zamfara governor begs Buhari. This is coming from Premium Times. Passengers Air Force panel killed in Kaduna bandits attacks. UFC 258 Kamaru Usman defends title with 3rd round knockout. Dismissed SARS officer sentenced to death over extrajudicial killing. More headline from Premium Times. Bauchi governor clarifies comments on herdsmen carrying guns for self-defense. How Adeboye became RCCG's general overseer. Politics shouldn't be seen as war. Jonathan. COVID-19. Nigeria records 1,143 new cases, 13 deaths. COVID-19 vaccines not mark of 66. Anglican primate tells Nigerians gunmen storm church. kill police officer. Stop killing northerners. Nigerians preach peace following violence in Oyo. Nigerian soldiers kill 2 top Boko Haram commanders. Would that be all from Premium Times? PDP cautions federal government against fuel price increase. Ex-top court official jailed 3 years for issuing .check. An abducted NTA reporter regains freedom.
From Vanguard newspaper, how to prevent nation's disintegration. Herders crisis, northern governors must act. Reopening of schools after COVID-19. 11 million girls may not return in Nigeria. Others, World Bank. I won't allow any religious ethnic group to stoke hatred violence against others. Buhari. Valentine's Day celebration. FCT revelers troop Abuja cinemas. FCCA to demolish 2 nightclubs over arbitrary change of land use. APC to boycott Sokoto local government election. Mayhem. Akeredolu Makinde visit Shasha Market. Sue for peace among traders. Kidnapped NTA reporter regains freedom. PDP cautions federal government against fuel price increase. Bauchi governor explains comments on herders carrying AK-47 rifles for self-defense. And non-physical post-UTME comply with guidelines or be disqualified. Unilag warns Lagos employs 25 additional vet doctors will act decisively to stop spread of ethnic religious violence. Buhari.
Let's see some more from the Nation newspaper. Support for mining will grow economy, says Minister. Prioritize vaccination of seafarers, dock workers. Insecurity, when will Obaseki do the needful? Lori Ross slogan of integrity. Lori Ross slogan of integrity. Social unrest can further weaken foreign investments. Imo Secretary General backs the Massa Marine Litter Action Plan. NEMA, why we nullified 48 workers' appointments. Mobile banking POS transactions drive digital payment. Sanwo-Olu gets Jakonde's notes. We were not prepared for Jakonde's death, son. Assets declaration. CCB to arraign NDDC sole administrator. Police to probe maltreatment of Lekki Tollgate protesters. Let's see some more from the Nation. Refineries incur 6.46 billion naira operational expenses. Service chiefs for screening this week. Tariff cuts on commercial vehicles begin. That's good news. Laws must be enforced for sanity in Apapa. I never supported crimes by Fulani herdsmen, says Bauchi governor. And politics should not be war, says Jonathan. We go on a short break now. We'll be back.
Every day is another chance to do it all over again.
Get the best of starts on the break of dawn. 32 FM 94.9.
Guy, what's in the make you scatter house like this, eh?
I beg, you help me see my Airtel SIM.
I carry and give Shade yesterday, but you know they use am again now.
Yay! You don't carry my bonus give landlord picking. Now today you go pack out.
On top Airtel SIM?
Yes, so if you don't reach 15 days where you never use your Airtel SIM, go find them now. Because why? Ogonga will full on top of. Hey, get 2,000 naira airtime plus extra 200 MB for just 200 naira. The more you recharge, the more you are woofo. To begin enjoy this awoof, just dial *241*7#. Terms and conditions dey.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àyíká rẹ nípasẹ̀ ìròyìn BBC ní Yorùbá. Nítorí kí o tó lè tayọ, o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n. Ní ìmísí pẹ̀lú àwọn oríṣiríṣi ìròyìn láti ibi àti káàkiri àgbáyé. Nígbà tí o bá ní ìmọ̀ nípa ohun tó ń lọ ní àgbáyé, o lè ṣe ohunkóhun. Mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àyíká rẹ. Wá BBC News Yorùbá kàn.
Ọmọ tó bá rí nǹkan tí àwọn ọmọ yẹn ń gbá lọ sí ìkànnì kẹtàlénígba báyìí.
dúró jẹun wo mi ò máa rí nǹkan kan níkànnì yẹn.
Lóòótọ́ a jẹ́ pé o ti gbọ́ nípa jẹun sókè yẹn step up nìyẹn o. Lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ mò ń wo àwọn eré ìdárayá bọ́ọ̀lù bí wọ́n ṣe ń gbá wọn lọ́wọ́ látìgbà tí mo ti jẹun sókè nínú ìsanwó ìwòran DSTV mi. Wọ́n sì fún mi ní ìkànnì tí ìpele ẹ̀ ga.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o, jẹun sókè sí ìpele tó kàn. Tí o bá wà lórí ìpele yànga, tí o bá wá bọ́ sí ìpele confirm, wà bọ́ sí ìpele DSTV tó tún ga, ìyẹn DSTV compact, tí iye owó rẹ̀ jẹ́ 8,800. ọgọ́rùn-ún náírà láti jẹ̀gbádùn gbogbo ìdíje aré bọ́ọ̀lù bí wọ́n ṣe ń gbá wọn lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Ìwọ̀nba ìgbà díẹ̀ làǹfààní yà á fi wà o. Ìlànà àti àdéhùn wà ṣáá o.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Yes, cavities
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Honey, must you go?
Babe, you know I must. Besides, you can always video call me.
What if your battery runs out?
I've got my power bank.
Hey, and when your power bank runs out?
Babe, I've got my laptop.
Okay, wait. What if your data runs out?
Babe, you know we never run out of data.
Never run out of data with Airtel Home Broadband Unlimited Ultra plans. Enjoy unlimited data with no speed cap plus extra data daily, so you never have to worry about running out. Visit www.airtel.com.ng/HBB to get started.
Babe, but I just left the house.
Yes, honey. It's video calling all the way.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
FM 94.9 is the station. Welcome to Breakdown Newspaper Review. In case you just joined us, my name is DELE ADEYANJU once again.
Dr. Lord Jedekun just joined us on the program. Good morning to you, Doctor.
And of course, top of the day to you.
Okay, Doctor, is it the nose mask there, or you need to get close to the mic?
Okay.
Good morning once again. Okay, I can still.
Top of the day to you.
All right, let's see. We'll get to improve it. My name is OLUTAYO. OGUNADE. Thank you, dear listener. It's good to know you're there. Doctor, let's start on this note. What happened at Shasha Market? Ethnic crisis has been dubbed. Let's see. Let's talk about it.
Well, I think there's a tinderbox. I think there's a tinderbox which has been waiting to explode. And I think ethnicity is just one layer of what has been going on there. Obviously, it was a clash between the Yorubas and between some of the northern. I wouldn't entirely say that they're completely Hausas. But that's what has happened. For a long time, for years, they've coexisted and they've lived together without any issues at all. But there's so many things coming together at the same time. There's the fear of the Boko Haram, there's the Fulani herdsmen, and all those things are a cocktail of issues coming together, coalescing together and causing a lot of trouble. And from the eyewitnesses, much of the violence was quite vicious. In fact, at some stages they said, if you didn't say a particular language, you are liable to be maimed, to be slaughtered, and to be killed. That's quite unfortunate. The governors of the two states, of course, Oyo State, the old state, and of course Ondo State, have attempted to visit the place. In fact, they visited, and let's hope some calm is restored. I think the alarm here is that some people feel that it's pointing towards the disintegration of the country. I wouldn't be that alarmist, but I think it's of concern that the government does not appear to be in control. The state government doesn't appear, nor the federal government. And that must be the concern of everybody, the people in the markets, and even the general public, as it were.
All right. For those who are quite conversant with Shasha markets, interethnic clash in Shasha is a recurring decimal.
Yes.
But some have alluded that this particular one has reached this particular height as a result of current mutual distrust occasioned by herdsmen terrorism in the country.
Yes, as said before, the cocktail of so many issues. And I think this one was, it would be a mistake for us to equate it with the rest and to say, well, it's always happened and it always flares up. I think the orgy of violence that accompanied this one was quite vicious and assumed a different dimension entirely. And if, of course, it's not tamed, it has the capacity to expand beyond Shasha itself into other areas, And then what do you get? You get tit-for-tat violence consuming itself. So I think it's concerned. But also what is equally more concerning is the manner of approach that comes from Aso Rock. Most of the time, Aso Rock is absent, And then there's a statement issued by a statesman spokesman in the name of the president, which is formulaic, which doesn't come up with any real solutions other than to affirm and than to state what the obvious is. And that's the problem. The problem is who really is in charge of our security, who is in charge of dousing the tensions, and is the presidency itself responsible for part of it? We're all responsible, but is the presidency also responsible in the way some of the appointments and the way that some of the issues, the warnings by Bishop Kuka, warnings by even Gumi himself have been handled, without having the knee-jerk reactions.
All right. Oh, okay. Well, some may not know, but Shasha is actually an acronym, and it actually means Structural Adjustment Settlement Area. Those who are the federal government, I won't say forcefully, but, took IT from. That's where you have IT now. That is where those guys used to be.
Yes.
So you have not just the Hausas, you have Yorubas, you have Igbos, you have Hausas living in Shasha area.
Yes.
But going forward, how can we stem the tide of ethnic crisis in the country?
Well, you alluded to it, and I think I referred to it, that there's a cocktail of issues going on at the same time. If we are unable to resolve the issues to do with the Boko Haram, the herdsmen, and all those things, then of course the simmering suspicion will continue. So I think we need to address some of the simmering suspicion. I think we need to have the leaders of the markets around the table. And I think, a solution has to be found. Either the market coexists as it is in the current form, or everybody goes a separate way as far as the markets are concerned. The reason why I'm saying is that even when you don't have this cocktail of issues, there's always been crises in Shasha. Not regularly, but ever so often, every small issue brings up some fights, some killings, and so on and so forth. So I think the option, really, the radical option of actually just disbanding the market, and letting everybody go its way, might be something to consider, rather than having this orgy of killings which spread beyond Shasha into the various roads, leading to other parts of the state. But that's the only solution I've got at this point in time. I think the governors also have to sit down, and even with the federal government and with the law enforcement agencies, the Amotekun and so on, and say, what can we do? Are there additional security that we need to put in place? Are there other issues we need to consider?
But Doctor, there is always a place for peace and conflict resolution.
Yes.
Going forward, you said something according to what I actually asked of you, but we have market leaders right there, and there is a way they've been doing all those things. Let's not forget that we have a lot of Yorubas in other parts of the country too. So we need to really look at ways of making sure this doesn't happen again.
Yes, we need to look for ways, but I think the first issue we need to deal with is how we cool tempers for a while, and cooling tempers may mean that for a while, even the market itself, you disrupt some of the economic activity until you get to the root of what is going on. The danger, of course, which I've alluded to, is of tit for tat. Because if we manage to send all these northerners, I hasten not to call them Hausa because they're not Hausas alone, and then we could face the same thing in other parts of the country. So the glee, nobody should have any glee, or nobody should, say yes, it's good for them. No, because it can come back to haunt us. So I think a hiatus, a pause, will be recommended. Of course, meetings with the leadership will be suggested to see which way forward. And we rely on those markets anyway for wholesale purchases and so on and so forth. So it's not as if they're doing us a favor. We're doing each other a favor. It's an economic activity which people in this part of the country benefit from. But we will see. And maybe on the long term, the government needs to, but people are skeptical when you set up panels of inquiry. Maybe there needs to be some sort of inquiry of some sort.
Doctor, I've been there personally, and but what actually bothers me is not just about what is happening there, but the convergence of street urchins, miscreants, young men who are, who are given to criminality.
And the social economic issues in the country gives credence to that, lends more relevance to that, in the sense that these people have nothing to do.
Just a little spark, and these guys will get on the street.
Yes, because they have nothing to do, and because they're waiting for it. And that's why I refer to it as a tinderbox. They're really waiting for crisis because they have no stake in society. They're on the margins. They are not invested in any of the infrastructure or anything. And so when trouble comes, that's their mainstay. And except also we deal with the social economic issues, with the hunger, with education, because many of these people have been left by in terms of education. They couldn't even afford it. They've been left by in terms of job. Society has left them behind. And if society doesn't find a way of taking them up, then the conflagration, that's the word, is it? Yes. That occurred after the NSAS and so on and so forth will be child's play. Because these people are waiting. They form themselves and constituting themselves into gangs, you understand? And when this issue arrives, they actually pounce on the most vulnerable in society. So let's hope, that government will find something to do for them. Because if they're around that area, no amount of talking, or Jojo will resolve the issue.
Right. Doctor, do you feel that the federal government or the state government has done something right with the Lekki toll gate over the weekend, making sure that youths are not allowed to take over the entire space? We all know what happened, and we know what these youths are agitating for.
First and foremost, I think we have to look at it from both sides. There's a pandemic in town. And so we really shouldn't be encouraging so many people without social distancing gathering together. But a lot of people will suggest that all the so-called emergency regulations for the pandemic is just a smokescreen to stop people from exercising their legitimate constitutional right, which is to be able to demonstrate. My view is that the demonstration is free and should be unhindered, and those people pose no threat of violence to anyone. And I think the government overreacted.
But what if miscreants take over?
Well, it is the job of the government to protect and to ensure that there's freedom of assembly and freedom of association. And so what the police should have been doing there is to ensure that no miscreants take over and that no sponsors of such miscreants are allowed. But what's tended to happen was that they clamped down on the protesters. They dealt with them viciously. And in order to, they claimed they were protecting, there was a charge of what's it called, the COVID-19
right.
also. And they clamped them down in closed spaces on top of each other, like sardines, you understand? I mean, Debo, Macaroni. There were pictures of him, you understand? So you're wondering what exactly is the government on about. I think they're nervous. I think they're concerned. And I think there are unspoken issues concerning Lekki, unresolved issues. And the unresolved issues is, were people killed there or not? And if they were killed, why hasn't the government been able to account for it? And why has the government not been able to raise its hands?
At the same time, some Nigerians are saying that protesters should take their agitation to the federal government, not Lekki, which is supposed to be a private space.
Yes, but at the end of the day, that's the scene of the crime. And of course, they visited the scene of the crime because they feel that's the only way they can point to people that you cannot forget us. Our issues remain, and the government has a responsibility to come out and answer up. And I think that's the main. That's why they use that. So that has become like a shrine of some sort. And I agree with you that yes, it's a private concern, but there will be some people who would argue that the so-called private concern has been involved or been in cahoots with the government. After all, it was the LCC vehicles and some of the LCC officials that were actually assisting in arresting on Saturday. And previously, some people have alleged that the LCC was also involved. I'm not suggesting it's true, but the allegation remains there. And so that's why that remains a focal point. Going forward, is it going to get them the results that they want? I think it's internationalized.
Is that the end of the Lekki killings or Lekki riot protest?
Well, we would hope not,
Was there a killing? Has it been established in the first place?
Well, independent observers said there was, but the federal government strenuously denies that there was ever any killing. So, of course, we recognize what the federal government says, but too many independent observers say there were a number of killings, not just some of few. But we wait for the inquiry. There's an inquiry going on. Is it the end? It cannot be the end. It cannot be the end when people cannot demonstrate peacefully. It cannot be the end when our policing, we haven't got it right. It cannot be the end when many youths still don't have jobs, when education is inaccessible to many people, and so on and so forth. It cannot be the end when people's accounts are being clamped down, even though, of course, they've released the clamp on their accounts. So government has to have the confidence to believe that even when people protest, that protection can be offered them, and it needs not be dominated by miscreants.
And some people are resigning from those.
The panel.
The panels.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the lawyer, the SAN, the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, I'm trying to remember his Ebun. Adegborough. And Rinu, the Odulala, the young lady, have indicated they're resigning because they have no confidence in the panel itself. I think it's a mistake. In my view, I think what you do is you write a minority report. And the minority report is a matter of record. But when you leave the scene, then the opportunity to even to engage in a minority report is lost. So I think it's an opportunity that is lost. Now, rather that they be there, and now rather that they do their stuff inside the tent than outside the tent.
Bauchi State Chairman of the Miyetti Allah, Sadiq Ibrahim Ahmad, has backed Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed's comment on herdsmen who carry arms to defend themselves. He told The Guardian in a telephone interview that the herdsmen carry arms for self-defense because government has failed to defend them. The headline read, Nigerians free to carry arms for self-defense, Miyetti Allah declares.
Well, it's not so simple. You take an AK-47 or Kalashnikov into my farm, grazing, and you're saying you're defending yourself. No, you're a threat. You're a lethal threat to the farmers and a lethal threat to the people whose lands you're grazing upon. If you are on your ranch and you had AK-47 and so on and so forth, which was licensed, because these guns are not licensed, then you could suggest that they are defending themselves, protecting themselves from intruders. But what's going on is that they're going to lands all over the place, free range, or what do you call it, open grazing, and they are going with guns, so that people cannot challenge them. But if they are challenged and say, why do you come onto my farm? They soon use those AK-47s and so on and so forth. So I don't agree with this premise. And I think, if they want to go into other people's lands, they should get an agreement, a legal agreement. And if they can't get a legal agreement, they should stay where they are, rather than marauding or using the AK-47 as a threat of violence.
Well, some are saying, Mr. President has not really said anything, but let's see how it goes. We're only thinking that very soon, too, there will be an end to all of these killings in the country.
Well, that's our hope. But if the presidency is not proactive, and if the policies of the federal government are not discernible, then of course some of these killings will continue. Because what's the reason for the killings? In many instances, the herdsmen and the farmers is the fact that the farmers feel that they are being invaded by herdsmen. And the government and the herdsmen, some of them Fulani, I wouldn't say all of them are Fulani, so let's be very careful there. They feel that they have this historic and ancestral right to roam all over the land.
Some northern governors and prominent people there are already condemning, the fact that you move cattle about.
Yes.
But it took us a long time for us to realize. Some of us have always said it. It's wrong. I mean, it's no longer fashionable moving cows about, in these days. We should ranch them. They are saying that now, but when are we going to actually effect it?
Well, I think that's the big question, and I think it should be effected now. But you see, the logistics there also are quite enormous because you have so many of them all over the place. So there has to be legal agreements, land has to be made available, because my own view is that I'm not in support of giving them free land and so on and so forth. They have to pay the commercial rate. This is a business, it's a going concern. Otherwise, you have to give the poultry farmer.
The last time I checked, they have more land over there.
Yes, Sambisa Forest, they have land, but you may argue that Sambisa Forest is it's a war zone at the moment. You understand? But there are other areas too that they can graze, or that they can, have a lease with the government, C of O, for a period of time, 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, whatever period of time. It can be done. It can be effected. But this free range, this open grazing from that point of view, is a recipe for continual, conflict. After all, the president and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces has his own cattle. He doesn't go all over the country with his cattle. He has his ranch. So why can't that model be followed? And I'm sure that ranch that he has, he didn't go to some farmer and take their land from them or whatever.
Precisely, and that's what I'm saying. Why should you be interested, or particularly about my 20 naira, when you have a 200 naira? You have, bigger lands over there.
Yes,
where you can do your ranching.
And even if you have bigger lands over there, it's going to be economic value to us here if they come here, buy land, and create their own ranch here.
Yes,
and for the landowner here, then it's a plus.
Yes, it's a plus. Of course, it's a plus. But I think there's also people think, some of the grazers think that the lush grass here, you understand, is richer and is of more nutrient to them than some of the lands up in the north. I've been to the north, and it's not everywhere that you get, this nice lush grass from that point of view. So I think that's part of the issue.
People can grow and do business with it.
Yes, absolutely. From that point of view. But the crisis has to be resolved. It's not the basis for the continual peaceful coexistence. If some people under the monopoly of arms, legal or illegal, are able to dominate and to kill, we just heard in some states, Ogun State, for instance, farmers were killed. So it's a daily occurrence, which means that these people are they actually consider these lands, you understand, theirs, for whatever reason.
Because it's one Nigeria. The Immigration Service yesterday said there were no armed herdsmen in the country. The NI spokesman, Sunday James, said yesterday that there has been tight security at the borders since the introduction of the migration information and data analysis systems. So, who carried? And some of the governors are alluding to the fact that, well, we have armed herders right now.
Yeah, that's a contradiction, isn't it? It's a contradiction, because tell that to the farmers who have just been killed in Ogun State and in other places of the country. Of course, they're armed herdsmen. Of course, guns are coming in. Our borders are porous. And no matter what a computer system is deployed at the borders, it doesn't negate the fact that there are all manner of ways in which weapons are coming through. So I think the reality is that the Immigration Service should face the reality and deal with the fact that weaponries are coming in on a regular basis.
All right, former President Goodluck Jonathan has urged politicians to see politics as a means of developing the people and not as warfare. We'll go on a short break. We'll be back.
This season of love, jaws will drop.
Babe, wow!
New dance moves will hit social media.
You go be my ladder, go be your first.
Rookie hype men and ladies will emerge.
This is dope, legit. What?
Let's not forget the cool and the other gangs.
Oh, baby!
This is too much. You shouldn't have.
Whatever the reaction might be, know that when you buy 2 smartphones of your choice from any Glow World outlet, you get up to 36 gigabytes for 6 months to share with that special person this Valentine. You've made more than just their day. This smartphone festival offer is exclusive to Glow World stores from the 8th to the 22nd of February 2021.
Glow Unlimited.
Charles!
Yes, mommy?
Go and bring 2 sachets of hypo bleach for me.
Why 2?
Because I'm using one to soak the whites and using one to kill all the germs.
But I can't see any germs here.
They are so tiny you can't see them, but they are there. And that is why I trust only hypo bleach to kill them all.
Make your white fabrics whiter and your household free of illness causing germs and viruses with the disinfecting power of hypo bleach.
Uncle Dentist, what be cavities and how Colgate take they protect my teeth from cavities? Shey they use comfort?
No, dear. Now, hole for teeth they cause most tooth pain will be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. We could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate. Because Colgate locks calcium in.
Yes, cavities out!
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Guy, what's in the make you scatter house like this, eh?
I beg, you help me see my Airtel SIM.
I carry and give Sade yesterday, but you know they use them again now.
Yay! You don't carry my bonus gift landlord picking. Now today you go pack out.
On top Airtel SIM?
Yes, so if you don't reach 15 days where you never use your Airtel SIM, go find them now. Because why? Ogonga will full on top of. Hey, get 2,000 naira airtime plus extra 200 MB for just 200 naira. The more you recharge, the more you are woofo. To begin enjoy this awoof, just dial *241*7#. Terms and conditions, Joe.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
All right, welcome. It's still Brekadon Newspaper Review on 32 FM 94.9, and we're going to take a story right now. It's from you started something about Goodluck Jonathan. Goodluck Jonathan is in the news these days, talking about this and talking about that. Right. He's been silent for some time, so maybe indeed Goodluck Jonathan is coming around. But Style has another story about fuel scarcity. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
we can just maneuver.
Jonathan was saying there that politics shouldn't be war, But from Premium Times, PDP cautions federal government against fuel price increase.
Yes,
I see a lot of queues now around, particularly over the weekend. I don't know what is happening.
Yeah, well, the issue the federal government will say is that they've tried to remove subsidy and they've left it to the market, and the market determines what the price is. But the reality of it is that people are suffering, and the reality of it is how much more can people take in terms of the rise in prices. So a lot of people will side with the PDP. But you also have to ask the question. There was a time when we were paying 1.3 trillion or more on subsidy, on these products. Can we afford it? Where's the money coming from? We are borrowing up to the hilt here. So a way forward has to be found, until we begin to refine in Nigeria. We will continue to have this argument, from that point of view. Excuse me. Because we hardly refine anything. So whilst I support the sentiments of the PDP, what's the solution? What's the roadmap? We need a roadmap. We need a solution, or else we'll continue to have arguments about these subsidies, or rather, increase rather.
All right, 2023 is coming, Dr. Jadoko. Jonathan, it's in the news. Whether it's coming back or not, I think it's too early to say or to tell. He said president or governors can appoint opposition as cabinet members. I'm sure he must have learned his lesson. Maybe he's coming to right those wrongs.
Yes, maybe he's coming to right those wrongs, and he's a citizen of Nigeria. He's entitled to, of course, make commentary and make comments if he so chooses. But of course, some of them are quite that of a statesman. He's trying to rise above politics. I don't really think he's interested in coming back, but I think that he wants to be relevant, and part of his relevance is to speak to some of the issues that he may have learnt from, or that may have happened during his time which he was unable to react to. But many people will say that those issues are not our issues today. The issues that are facing the Nigerian people are the herdsmen crisis, the Boko Haram. The issues that are facing Nigeria today are the economic issues. Those are the issues facing us. And many will rather speak to those issues, but those issues will prove quite controversial and might pit him against the federal government.
All right.
It's time now to open the phone lines. 0906 2009 490809 700949. Let's have your headline. Let's make conversation on the headlines this morning. Good morning. I don't expect any discerning Nigerian to be surprised on PMB's attitude on governance. We all knew this before he was carelessly voted in again in 2019. Let's continue to enjoy the delicious food till 2023. Hopefully, Prince Walegiwa, I think you should send in another message. Now, he's been sending this since last week. All right. Delegiwa, we got that already, Prince. Let's take this call here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
I'm following the police from Papa Ludo.
Let's have your headline.
Thank you, sir. According to what you have just said, that the ITLR said that everybody is qualified to be carrying gun for self-defense. It's an unfortunate statement. But what I will just discuss that Nigerians, especially the Southwest governor, they should be proactive. They should be watchful. Because to me, what they are trying to do now is that they want to be using religion and ethnicity to cover criminality. That's what they are trying to do. So they should be very watchful. Because I believe it's not going to be an indirect another expansionist program, jihadist program. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you. 0906 2009 49 0906 2009 49. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes, this is Joseph Oluwasegun from Ibadan. I expected you people to read about the two Boko Haram commanders that were killed. If we encourage government to do more, not only you complain about the bad side, that's number one. Number two, the issue concerning NSAS, those youth should take their concern, complaint to the federal government, to the doorstep of Buhari, instead of disturbing others, road users, other well-meaning Nigerians that are doing their legitimate business. Good morning.
All right, thank you. 0906 2009 4908 09 700949. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Tayo.
Good morning, comrade.
Good morning. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
Comrade Lekon from Oyo. I think it is obvious now, and it is simple to the blunt person now, that the presidency is seeing nothing bad about what these criminal men are doing. Because considering the statement created to Bauchi governor, you know, since that day, the presidency has not said anything in contrary to what he said. But I know if it were to be a Southwest governor who said that,
they must have reacted. Look at what Akinlulu said the other time. Less than 6-7 hours, there was a reaction from the presidency. The chairman, Meiti Alabati State, just said it now, that everybody is free to carry arms for their self-protection. No reaction has come from the presidency. It means that these people, these so-called criminal men, have a backing somewhere. And there's need for us to protect that backing if at all we want peace. Good morning.
All right, thank you, Comrade Lekon. Thank you for calling. We're going to take a break right now. I'll come back. We'll take more calls.
Hey, why not they do her like this now? She offended on now.
Mommy, what is it? Why are you crying?
Hey, Jiro, people heartless. See what they do, Anita.
Mama, who is Anita?
My dear, just leave Mama. Oh. She's in a world of her own with this movie she's watching on Airtel TV. You too can get special streaming 500 MB data for just 100 Naira to stream movies, series, music videos, and more. The best part is, you don't have to use your main data. Just dial *141 *106# now.
Hey, Mama, Anita don't see better man Mario. Just look at God.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
láti gòkè àgùnlà láyé èèyàn nílò ìtọ́sọ́nà ẹni tó mọ̀nà débi àṣeyọrí. FMH International HR àwọn ni gbajúgbajà kọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ iléeṣẹ́ alárinà tó mọ ojúlẹ̀jà bá ti ń tọ́ni sọ́nà finimọ̀nà nípa bí gbogbo òǹwáṣẹ́ ṣe lè pàdé àwọn òǹgbanisíṣẹ́ pàápàá jùlọ láwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tó wà lókè òkun.
FMH International HR alábàáṣepọ̀ gidi ni wọ́n jẹ́ pẹ̀lú àjọ oníwádìí ìjìnlẹ̀ àgbáyé tá a mọ̀ sí United Nations Volunteer Research Group láti jùmọ̀ tọpinpin wàhálà táwọn ọmọlẹ́yìn ń kojú nídìí ìgbìyànjú ajé lọ sílẹ̀ òkèèrè. ìyẹn ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ mọ́ international migration àti international labour activities.
ǹjẹ́ o tiẹ̀ mọ̀ pé o nílò ìmọ̀ tó jinlẹ̀ dáadáa nípa ìlànà à ń tẹ̀lé láwọn pápákọ̀ òfurufú tó fẹ́ gbà sọdá sílẹ̀ òkèèrè. lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ bá a ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí United Nations Volunteer Research Group pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ FMH International HR ń ṣe research lórí ẹ̀dùn ọkàn àti ìpèníjà tẹ́ ẹ bá ní. questionnaires táwọn òṣìṣẹ́ FMH bá fún yín lágbègbè yín lẹ́wọ́ ṣàlàyé ìrírí yín sí.
fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ kàn sí wọn ní 3rd and 9th floor Cocoa House Dùgbẹ̀ Ìbàdàn.
telephone 0817 4444 627
àti 08168737222.
Charles!
Yes, Mommy?
Go and bring 2 sachets of hypo bleach for me.
Why 2?
Because I'm using one to soak the whites and using one to kill all the germs.
But I can't see any germs here.
They are so tiny you can't see them. But they are there. And that is why I trust only hypo bleach to kill them all.
Make your white fabrics whiter and your household free of illness causing germs and viruses with the disinfecting power of hypo bleach.
Lights, camera, Lake On.
No, it's not an act. This is my life for all to see. In the bright lights, see blessings how they fall on me. From small beginnings to big brother. From the chances I take to the inspiration I give others. I am a rapper, a singer, a winner. I am an icon. So when they turn the lights on, they see that I am Lekon.
Watch I Am Lekon, a brand new Showmax original reality series, only on Showmax.com.
Guy, what's in the make you scatter house like this, eh?
I beg, you help me see my Airtel SIM.
I carry and give Sade yesterday, but you know they use am again now.
Yay! You don't carry my bonus gift landlord picking. Now today you go pack out.
On top Airtel SIM?
Yes, so if you don't reach 15 days where you never use your Airtel SIM, go find them now. Because why? Ogunade full on top of. Hey, get 2,000 Naira airtime plus extra 200 MB for just 200 Naira. The more you recharge, the more you are woofo. To begin enjoy this awoof, just dial *241*7#. Terms and conditions, Joe.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
All right, welcome back. I will take some calls. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Bayo. Doctor, good morning.
Morning.
Quick one, sir. I just want to implore. Tayo, how much did Jonathan increase for them that what the court said 100 Naira? Then this government are campaigning that the subsidy is a fraud. And I want to ask, they have increased fuel now to 2 to 3 times now. I'm this bit total. When are they going to remove this subsidy? You see, this is what you are saying. It is not that we hate this government. No. If
need food, nobody will talk. Imagine, like what comment just said, look at the issue of security. The so-called presidency up to now, nothing. When Nabdekar was causing over the north in Southeast, look at just one day order. Why can't these people just give another? Everything is just zero. I will employ. 2023 is nearby. That's why now they are trying to lobby block again to deceive us. No way. Thank you.
All right, Bayo, thank you. But let's not deceive ourselves. Let's stop talking or saying 2023 is around the corner. Nothing will change.
No.
What we have is still this system.
Yes, I mean, if it's the same political actors, then it's going to be the business as usual. The youths who we feel should also be dominating the space. What have they done in terms of PVCs? What have they done in terms of registration? It's not enough just to go to Lekki and be protesting and so on and so forth, and not really engage with the political infrastructure that we have. And I don't see that happening yet. It may well happen, but it's getting closer and closer.
Just use Lagos, for instance. Last week, some hoodlums protested around Obalende area, all right? And the same day, there was show of force around Lekki axis. Same Lagos, but no, we didn't see the police when these guys were causing mayhem around Obalende same day. So what are we talking about?
Yes, in fact, it wasn't just Obalende, also the Maloney, in front of the building, the Kam Salam house. A lot of fracas was going on and violence was being exhibited. And of course, the police just cowered in their building and did not intervene. It seems as if our police and our security forces take delight in confronting armed and defenseless civilians.
Good morning.
This is okay.
Good morning, okay.
Please, there is a question I ask, and all of a sudden I seem to be asking questions now. One, please, what have they actually done about the Mieti Allah person urging every one of us now, you and I now, to carry arms? I actually believe if it's a Southerner that said that, we would have heard either Garba Shehu saying something. So how come they are keeping quiet? They are keeping mum now. Is there a part of people that seems to be better than the other part? That's the first question. Then two, how are we going to live where we are now and get to where we ought to be? We need to start, like one of Akola will always say, Tayo and Dele, it's time for us to sit down. Let's sit down and discuss. Probably this is what will sort this whole problem out. We have carried on. Dr. Jedoku, we've carried on. It didn't work. Now we have also done other parts and did not work. Probably when we sit together, we might now be able to say, yes, this is how we want to go. Either we'll go together or we'll go in a separate way. I don't know. This is what I'm actually thinking. Good morning.
Good morning, okay. Thank you for calling.
It's raised the issue people are raising. Can we continue like this? Can we continue in disarray? Can we continue in this mayhem and this violence? Platitudes will not work. Something has to happen. Either we sit down, either we engage with the issues and find the way forward. Forward or backwards, a way has to be found, because certainly this is not sustainable.
Let's take this call here. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Bolade from Obere.
Let's have a contribution.
Bolade is my name from Obere.
Your first time caller.
About the first time I'm contributing.
Thank you very much. Good to have you.
Yeah. Well, the issue of the narrative is not going to change. I don't want to believe that. We had Jonathan some few years ago, and we've always had presidents. But this time around, who we have at the end of affair is really the problem we are having. When there are no consequences for bad behaviors, this is what we see in terms of insecurity in the country. So it's not as if it's not going to change. For now, this is what we are witnessing because of the sheriff, the new sheriff in town, which is Buhari. I believe when we have another person, maybe Sultana or someone that is not a bigot or non-biased person as
All right, thank you. Doctor, the way we still emphasize ethnicity and all that in 2021 is a little bit bothersome. Some would say that there are sufficient justifications now for us to renegotiate the country.
I think the justifications have always been around since the 60s. It's always been around. But the fact is, what kind of negotiation is going to come about it? Do we do it in peace or do we do it in a fractured situation? And I think everything suggests that the structure of Nigeria is constructed to bring about failure, not progress. The structure of Nigeria does not allow individuality, does not allow the regions to express themselves, does not allow decision-making at local levels in many areas and many facets.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name, please?
Yes, my name is Abati Shobulo. From I'm speaking from Kotedo here in Ibadan.
All right, go on, sir.
You see, the way I see things, I'm a Yoruba by ethnic group in this country. And the way I've traveled a lot of places. I know how the Yorubas behave when they get to places where they know they don't belong to. You understand me? So, we Yorubas, can we behave the way these people are behaving in this country? In this south of the country. I'm not talking of any other side of the country, any other part. I'm talking about the southern part. Can we, the Yorubas, behave the way they are behaving there? When Obasanjo was in government, when Ghanaian Dam, you remember the saga Odua. Obasanjo arrested Chief Fashion, he arrested Ghanaian Dams and caution. No, it was from the arrest that they cautioned themselves. Why can't Buhari talk? Why can't he speak on this issue? Buhari, which means Buhari is backing these people. How can a state governor, Bauchi governor, say the military can carry gun to defend themselves? Do they use gun to do cattle work? These are issues that are annoying, and it could cause disintegration in this country. And at the end of the day, what we are saying should not happen will definitely happen. At the end of the day,
we don't pray for it. We don't pray for it. We cannot handle it.
No.
Although we read from the Nation newspaper that the Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed on Sunday described as erroneous claims that he had, during his speech last week in Lafia, shown support for crimes committed by some Fulani herdsmen. Let's take this call here. It's going to be the last caller on the program. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sir.
Morning, sir. Your name?
Yes. Yeah, this is you from Ago.
All right, go on, sir.
I just want to support the earlier callers. And I want to say that, yes, no, you talk about restructuring. They cannot back restructuring since they are getting what they want. And they want Ruga, they wanted cattle colony, they wanted water resources. And is it only cattle that is a personal business in Nigeria? We have poultry farmers, we have fish farmers, all FSA. So this thing is giving these headers that kind of temerity to unleash terror on people. And they are talking about cattle carrying arms. The president is not responding. So they will continue doing it. And the issue of restructuring, we are just shouting. These people will not leave. They just use it to win an election. So nobody knows. So the only way is that the Southerners should come together and harp on what they want. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Doctor, we have to go. Your last word or final word on the program this morning.
Well, I think we're in a stalemate now, and we have to decide. Do we restructure? Do we stay in the same structure that we are? And do we continue to fraternize with a lack of progress and the poverty that accompanies it?
All right. Thank you, Dr. Oluwayo for showing up on the program. He's a lecturer and a lawyer at the Lake City University. And I also want to personally thank this fine gentleman who provided support for us when we visited Shasha Market yesterday, Prophet OLUTAYO Daniel Bamidele. It was fantastic throughout the period that were there yesterday. Thank you very much, dear listener, much more for your time with us. The calls and messages, we do appreciate. The program will be back tomorrow, same time. From me, OLUTAYO OGUNADE, I say have a great day.
My name is DELE ADEYANJU. Thank you for your time.
The station admired by other radio stations. 32 FM 94.9.
Show me your 32.
ṣe rí inú ikùn yín lẹ̀ ń wò yẹn kì í ṣe pé lóyún o àbí pọ̀ mọ́ kíkì ẹja ni wọ́n ń sùn yẹn wò wọ́n èpè ya aláràn nǹkan kan nìyẹn. àmú gbé abájọ tí kò mi fi máa ṣe gùlúgùlú pọ̀lọ̀pọ̀lọ̀. ó máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ nígbà tí mi ò ṣe iyemọja dókítà ẹ ṣàánú mi ìbológún ti wá ta ni mo ṣẹ̀ kí ló lè fà á. ẹ gbọ́ nǹkan. nǹkan tó máa ń fà fà ni pé ní kékeré irú yẹn ti fẹ́ já dídí mu gàrí débi pé ìgbìmọ̀ àwọn ẹja gan protest. ìgbà tẹ́ tún dàgbà tọkùnrin bá gbé yín jáde ẹ máa ní I want catfish pepper soup, I want croaker barbecue. bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń jẹ́ lẹ́dẹ̀ máa gba take away. ẹlẹ́dàá àwọn ẹja tẹ́ ti jẹ́ ǹjẹkújẹ ló wá ń padà dáa fún yín báyìí.
This skit was performed by Samu Baba comedian.
32 FM 94.9.
Feel better about your life.
32 FM 94.9, the antidote to depression.
My name is Chinedu Abundance. I am 11 years old. I listen to Smart Kids